It's the weekend, everybody, so that means that I'm going to be testing out a little synergy. An Ebony Maw synergy, to be exact. Airwalker was put out last week, and I wanted to try out some of the synergies, in particular the Ebony Maw one. It does, I wouldn't say promise, because a lot of the times, a lot of the synergies do not promise certain things. But this one is, while the opponent is suffering from a falter or black tongue, Ebony Maw gains plus 70% attack rating. Yes, we're indeed going to see, can we polish a turd of this kind of champion? It's not a case it's a total turd. There is some definite viability when it comes to degen damage, and as you rank it up and say with a 6-star rank 2 version at 200 signature, you're getting some really good degen damage, which I did find quite enjoyable to see on the screen, and as well as some nice numbers of the SP2. But other champions do a lot more with damage output, which interests me a bit more. However, though, it's nice to look at some old champions and see if synergies can indeed polish said turd. One of the biggest issues to note about being on the content creator beta is that it is having the same problems as prior to the massive AI issues which we suffered at the start of 28.0. Theoretically, at the moment, it is somewhat unplayable and isn't exactly enjoyable. And this really comes to mind with the reaction for falter. You know what happens when falter appears? The enemy misses, or sorry, you miss, or the enemy misses hitting you. That's the correct one there, Richard. So the enemy misses you. However, though, with this particular champion, when you're going up against different types of champions, it doesn't have to be Winter Soldier, the AI seems to switch back and go into a block, which is kind of annoying because you expect the enemy AI to go at you. The same way as the AI, which is broken in this testing, slowly comes towards you as opposed to any kind of proper AI functionality, which is incredibly frustrating. But I digress. The name of the game for me is to do falter or hit on falter in order to maximize damage output, so that then I can really utilize this synergy. That is the plan. But the somewhat secondary aspect to that plan is hitting through with an SP2 with plenty of those things in the top right hand corner called deteriorations. Yes, sometimes with over 170 plus champions in game, you can forget things very easily, like deteriorations, because you know everyone's using Ebony Maw nowadays. Now let's roll the footage on top of the video. So yeah, thoughts. Now, I still don't think that Ebony Maw is going to be one of those go-to champions. And depending on whether or not you can hit viably with that miss up and then hope that the enemy is a case it's being aggressive towards you, that is where things will be overly beneficial if you are then going out against enemies. Now, granted, there will be champions that interwork well with miss, or the ability to not nullify but stop the ability of miss, which I know a lot of champions do that nowadays. Just trying to think off the top of my head, I think even Airwalker had something built into its ability kit to undermine that, but I'm sure there's a few others that have been recently added that do that particular job. Now, what did I think with damage output? Yeah, again, not really there. Does it mean that you're going to rank 2 and 200 signature a Ebony Maw in order to get some better yellow numbers? Possibly. Is it going to mean the same thing for the point of damage output for the degeneration based on the deterioration stacking? And do bear in mind, in some circumstances in this video, I will try and get up to 20 deterioration to then see the bigger ticks of damage from the degen. At times, and in some other experimentations, 3,000 per tick was nice to see. It was certainly good and rewarding to see that level of damage. But is that going to be something that says to me, yes, this is what I came to experiment? No, it's not, unless there was a point in time of hitting when the enemy was faltered or I had black tongue. So that was what I was really looking at for, and it wasn't really there. I do think the Kabam could do a little bit of a better job with adding other synergies, and there are some others out there, but it just doesn't seem like this champion will be that go-to champion for rosters. And even if you are looking for the opportune time for putting it in Alliance Wars because of synergies, that is not the case. That has never been the case, or that was for a brief time but isn't, or it isn't being full stop. Either way, that synergy, yeah, it's kind of irrelevant for it, but it's fun. It's fun for certain things. But the only thing that I'm really interested in seeing is putting together a nice synergy group with the Heimdall synergy, It looked a little bit like this. I did play about from time to time with giving the enemy a fury buff in order to interwork with the abilities. But I think by the time that I just realised that this Airwalker synergy, which was the one that I really wanted to pair up for this video for experimentation, it's just not there as being an interesting venture. And for me, again, it's just down to the degens, which were the most rewarding thing when playing the champion. So yeah, it's unfortunately that's my take, and as has been a little video just overviewing that one. It would be nice to see something more for Ebony Maw. I don't know. Yeah, it would be nice to see something, and yeah, hopefully in the future there will be. Shame that he didn't get overly buffed, and also it's a shame because a lot of players do pick this up as a 6-star. I own 6-star Unawakened. I know in my luck in the next 6-star opening I'll probably end up awakening it because them's is the lucks. But I've got some good 6-star champions, so I should never complain about what I've got. Except for all these. These are kind of like I don't get to keep these, so oh well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Check out some other content up there for your consideration, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.